All right, everybody, welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. That's the live stream. Anybody catch the video I put out today? It is our talking points from the live stream. Made into a nice video for you guys to get straight to the point and get straight to raising that crypto IQ, which is the mission of the channel. What's up, Camsta? Yep, nice pump for BTC. I drew a flag with a measured move on the 4 hour and it played out really well. 70K, looks like we are running back to the upside. All right, everybody, you know where we always start. We start over on the crypto bubbles. Soul back. It says soul back over 90K. I'm at $90. Yeah, so we're getting a little bit of pump. BTC back to the upside. Just want to show you guys something real fast before we even get into those crypto bubbles. And that would be trading view, right? So I drew this flag here on the 4 hour and it played out really nicely. Now your 4 hour is back above the 200-day moving average. Of course, be mindful here of the RSI. The stochastic RSI, that is, and it is definitely, you know, overbought. And shout out to anybody rolling in here. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the charts right this moment. First, let's get into what's trending. Let's do our normal stuff while we're waiting for people to roll on in. There's those crypto bubbles. There we go. All right, so here we are. And it looks pretty good across the board when you drop down your list through the hundreds. You got 2%, 2.7, 2.3, 2.6, 2.2, 3.5, so on and so forth. It's looking like a green day for the crypto market. And BTC back to 70K. Gotta love that. We gotta hit 70K before we can hit 80, before we can hit 90. Can we sustain this move? Was the bottom in? It's yet to be seen. Time will tell. And I hope you guys are ready for another great show. I got talking points to raise that crypto IQ, a short story about crypto that I want to tell you. We've got DeFi games that we would love to show you guys, right? Chainers being one of them. But first, before we can do all that, we need to do our due diligence, right? So the biggest bubble to the upside, 12.7% for Decred, went as high as $32.83, where it is right now. And the biggest loser in 1 through 100 looks like Near Protocol at 8.6. It has been pumping the last couple of days. 1 through 100 to 200, I should say. Quantum Resistant Layer up 20.6%. Hex up 15.2%. And that's when I start looking for Pulse, because I'm sure Pulse is in here somewhere. I don't see it. Finis token getting a nice bounce, 16.5%. Build on, that is in the World Liberty Finance ecosystem, 13.4%. SPX 6900 up almost 10%. Cow up 8.8%. Let's drop down another 100. We don't usually go farther than, 300 here. Centrifuge, 36% pump. Mantra getting a 57.5% pump. Look at that thing. That looks pretty good. And I love to see it. T-Fuel even getting a 12.6% pump, and Deep Book getting 8.1%. I own some Deep Book, so I love to see that. But Ohm is down 65.9%. Robo's down 14.7%. We've been talking about Robo. It's been trending these last couple of days. Let's hop over to the CoinGecko and do our price rundown. The overall market cap is up 5.5% to $2.5 trillion. I love to see that, moving back towards $3 trillion. And right now, BTC is coming in at $73,148, up 7% in the last 7 days. So I love to see that. This is a good look for crypto market right now. Can it sustain is always the question in the back of everybody's mind. ETH already back to $2,134. BNB $659. XRP $1.43. Solana $91.12. And remember, if that was the local bottom here and we're going to pump for a little bit, everything was on sale, but were you bold enough to buy anything? That becomes the question, because when the fear is in, a lot of people don't want to buy. And then you look back and you say, wow, this coin was only this much money. I could have made so much money. But do you think you would have had the guts to buy it at the time it was at that price? That's the question. Dogecoin trending back up to 10 cents, 0.098, almost 10 cents, still down 1.9% in the last 7 days. Cardano 27 cents, Hyperliquid $32.06, up 12.9% in the last 7 days. Chainlink $9.37. Monero $358. All right, what's going on here in the chat? Apparently power got rugged. Yeah, we went over it the other day. I don't think you were here, Camsta, on the last live stream, but we went over power. It definitely did rug. And remember, I was saying with Power Protocol, I didn't really understand what the heck it was doing. It was partnered with a few games, but they weren't Power Protocol's games. They were just partnered with it, and the games were not even all that extravagant. There were many games that looked just like that game, so I wasn't really understanding where all the money was coming from. Seemed like a pump and dump scheme maybe from the get-go. Ohm made a new contract called Mantra, so the Ohm token dumped because the project grifted. Good evening, welcome in, NW, love to see you in here. And yeah, I see that, because I was wondering, I thought Ohm was the coin, and then I see Mantra, which used to be the project. I don't know why they do stuff like that. A lot of times I feel like it hurts those communities more than it helps them. Like, what was the big takeaway for Mantra to do that was going to be so significantly better moving forward than just having a token called Ohm, which did go with Mantra quite a bit. Canton Network 15.5 cents. XLM high 15 cents, almost 16 cents. HBAR 10 cents. Avalanche $9.52, Zcash $241, SWI $1.95, moving back up towards $1, or sorry, 95 cents, moving back up towards $1. SWI at $1.95 right now would be amazing. MemeCore $1.35, and let's see where that flare has ended up today. 77. I'm pretty sure that's where it was yesterday. All right, let's move along. Let's take a look at what's trending. For anybody who cares to know, I am kind of just running in the door and doing the stream. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I just barely made it 15-20 minutes before the stream. So I'm glad to be here, glad that we can make it happen. I took the family out to a festival for the day, and wasn't sure if we were going to make it back on time, as it was like 2 hours away from my house, but it worked out. I love when a thing comes together. Shout out Blues Guys in the house, says greetings and gratitude to all Underground, my man. Thank you for all you do, much appreciated. Back at you. I'm glad to do it, and I really appreciate all your help. Blues Guy has been helping out the channel a lot, clipping our talking points from videos for me, helping take some of the workload off my shoulder. Man, could not ask for better people in this community. Pudgy Penguins, #1 trender of the day over here on CoinGecko, always trending, probably the strongest NFT project in the game right now, and there's not a whole lot of others to mention, to be honest with you. Of course, there's NFTs that come out and pump, but that has stuck around, that have real value, in-store products, nothing like Pudgy Penguins, right? Bitcoin, Mantra, which we just heard was a new token. It is moved over from, it's a new contract, sorry, which I guess is a new token. But it used to be Ohm, now it's Mantra. Is that going to really benefit them in the long run? I don't know. Power Protocol looking very ugly. If you can see right above my head here, they have the 7-day chart, and look at it. It just fell off a cliff, and it fell from like 391 million, if my memory is correct, down to like 30 million. That's a huge dump, and it was straight down for that thing. So somebody with a lot of coins sold hard on everybody. Solana is trending. I was going to give you the price, but that's not where we are right now, okay? So Venice token, VVV is the ticker. Venice token looking hot, still up 74.3% in the last 7 days, up 7.4% in the last hour, 16% in the last 24. Manad, shout out to Melissa. Hopefully she can join us tonight. There she is. Right on time, Melissa. Thank you. And if you're hanging out with us, throw something in the chat so we know you're here. Hyperliquid, Pi Network, Jupiter. Don't sleep on that Jupiter price prediction video I put out. Mantra, the old, right? This is Mantra, but the old one, Ohm. And yeah, People are going to jump that. Did they do a V2? I'm not really sure what happened there. Fabric Protocol, or Robo, is one we've touched on quite a bit. Blockstreet kind of new on my radar, as I haven't gone over that in a long time. I don't even know. It might be a new token. Doesn't have a 7-day chart there. Monero, Zcash. Let's take a look at Blockstreet, because that seems to be the only thing here I'm not sure what it is. Looks like it came out today, right? Yep, today. And 26 million in market cap already. Token generation event anyways. 1 billion max supply. And 207.7 million in circulating supply. Ethereum contract, BNB smart contract. And it's called Blockstreet.money is the website. So it tells me it's financial, right? Infrastructure, DeFi, of course, Binance Alpha Spotlight. Let's go take a look at their website here. Unified liquidity layer for tokenized assets. So RWAs, anybody? Multi-asset, cross-leverage, unified isolated liquidity from your tokenized assets. So this is not going to be like gamified or something that gets everybody real excited. It's not a meme coin, but infrastructure is one of those things we really take for granted and we don't care much about until you're trying to do something like bridge an asset and it just doesn't exist. Dynamic system for tokenized value. So they're trying to play here in the game of RWAs, chain abstracted liquidity. I love that language. That lines up where a lot of blockchain is going right now. Go to the gym, says good evening. Underground crew and chat. Good evening to you. Thank you for being here. All right, there's an airdrop you can claim, mint NFTs. I don't know anything about it. Shout out to airdrops. Right now we've been working pretty hard on our Robinhood airdrops. You get a lot on this channel. You get stuff about airdrops. You get DeFi gaming. You get what's trending every day, Monday through Saturday. I do take Sundays off to work on my other business, but we're almost every day. And we've been doing a lot with this Robinhood airdrop. Shout out to NW, a person who's come in and been a part of our community and has really helped us understand some airdrops. So we are a community built of the people who are here. It is not about, look at me, I'm so smart, but I do have to lead the community, right? 22, look at that move up on the Fear and Greed Index. Like to see it. So it's always not a lot of fun to watch the Fear and Greed Index tick down and BTC price dump and dump, but it is pretty epic when we finally get the turnaround and we finally start moving. I would love to see this move to the upside for BTC and the rest of the crypto market sustain this move, and I would prefer to see slow, consistent move up than a bunch of big spikes with big retraces and big spikes and retraces, or worse, it roll over and dump on us. So shout out to everybody who's here. Fear and Greed Index has moved up to 22. Yesterday it was at 10, so it's moved up 12 in one day. That's a decent move for the Fear and Greed Index, right? Remember, it looks more at like sentiment in the market than just price action. So let's come over. Let's make this the top 20 and not just the top 10 here, and let's talk about it. So we got INSO. We've been talking about INSO almost every day. It's been like the #1 trender over here on Crypto Rank, and INSO is really for developers to make tooling and things like that easier to launch on chain. That is what they are focused on. I could see how it would be very useful, but I don't see retail getting like overly excited about it. But it must be trending for some reason. Maybe they have an airdrop going or something. I have no idea. I do love that if you look all the way over here where my mouse is, probably right above my head, you'll see the age of the project, right? It's only been out 0.4 of a year. And Mantra, brand new, but it's not really new, right? If they made a new contract, the project is the project that you're familiar with. They just have a new ticker. Bitway, we'll be talking about Bitway, right? Superform is all about yield. Heroes of Mavia is a very old game, and I have no idea why it's in the relevance of trending again. I don't know if they're doing something, but when we checked it out, I really didn't see anything new. Creator is a social media style platform. We'll be touching on that. Robo is a newer project that we've been looking at. Does it even have a 7-day? Okay, it doesn't even do that on here. But anyways, I don't even know if it's been around for 7 days yet. Robo very much about AI, but not your traditional stuff that we talk about AI in crypto, like AI agents, agentic networks, although they would have kind of that style of thing, but it's more about in real life, in factories, running different things, AI, running robots in a factory, manufacturing, whatever. It could be your robo waiter at a restaurant, all those type of things. That's what robo is about. Centrifuge, Sahara AI, Power Protocol is trending, but probably for the wrong reasons. Probably because it's dumped so hard. There's got to be a lot of people who are mad about Power Protocol. Aztec, we've been talking about Aztec for a long time. Espresso's been doing so well, and it's been so kind of cutting edge with the technology, blockchain technology that they've been doing, that I really think I'm going to make an independent video about Espresso because I really like it. And I've been talking about it long before they even did a token generation event. If you've been on this channel and you listen to my talking points and you try to raise your crypto IQ, wink, wink, there might have been a hint at Espresso way earlier than its token generation event, and it's done quite well. And now that we're ticking up in the market, it's probably going to continue to do well for a while. Plasma's all about the rails and the makings of stable coins, and of course, you know, the transaction fees and stuff I'm sure they're getting from stable coins. But also I see people launching things, so it is like a smart contract layer 1. Zama, I know the minute you hear Zama, you think homomorphic encryption, right? Fully homomorphic encryption. So that's like integration in the world of privacy and blockchain. Opinion is a prediction market, right? And I don't doubt that it might do well. I do feel a little bit uneasy about buying a coin like Opinion when it comes out, because prediction markets are everywhere, from Coinbase, Solflare, which is a Solana wallet built right into your, Google Chrome or your web browser. It even has prediction markets in it. So how many, it's just like the decentralized exchange craze that we had for a while. How many of them are going to be able to sustain when you have it built into a wallet or Coinbase that has multiple functions? It's probably going to stay for a while. But when you have a project that independently by itself is only prediction markets, another one that came out a couple months ago is Rain. How well will they do when the excitement around prediction markets falls away? And again, prediction markets to me feel a lot like gambling at a casino. Tether. I know you guys are dying for me to tell you what Tether is. It's trending today for some reason. Monad, of course. Monad trending a lot. Monad looking like a pretty strong project. Story, all about IP rights. Sui, a layer 1 blockchain that was very cutting edge and sophisticated when it came out. I don't know how much they've continued to grow. And then, of course, Bitcoin. These are our top 20 trending coins over on CryptoRank. Now, what do we want to look at here? Do we really? I'm just going to touch on Mantra just because maybe there's somebody out there that Mantra is new for them. Mantra is a layer 1 blockchain focused on real world assets, tokenization, RWAs, whatever you want to put. They changed from Ohm to Mantra. Just to reiterate, they have 110.3 million market cap, been as high as 125. It's like a new token, but it's not. Now let's look at Bitway. With a name like Bitway, it's got to be Bitcoin DeFi, right? Bitway is a layer 1 blockchain designed for Bitcoin-based applications. So I've talked a lot about this in the past. Bitcoin DeFi, I kind of have to put it in 2 categories, right? I think Bitcoin's great. Don't really have anything negative to say about Bitcoin as a network, all of that stuff, right? And then there's Bitcoin DeFi. And then the understanding that Bitcoin as a blockchain is not really built for smart contracts. Without smart contracts, you don't really have the ability to have DeFi, right? And so a lot of the times they're not built on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin does have lightning upgrades and stuff like that, but most of the very, very small capabilities over there are inscriptions, right? And so that's where it gets a little bit complicated and techie, and a lot of people probably don't understand. Let's see what ecosystem, Ethereum and BNB. So unlike most chains or networks, the DeFi lives on the actual chain. But with Bitcoin, it's kind of a nuance there where it doesn't, right? Bitcoin DeFi mostly lives on other platforms. So Ethereum and BNB, those are great chains, right? But it's not Bitcoin. And so there's a lot of people who argue, do you have real DeFi on Bitcoin if none of it runs on the Bitcoin ledger, right? On the Bitcoin network. I think that's a good point to make. What is going on in this chat? So what's up, Blues? You got that flare bag ready. Looks like it's going to head north real soon. Let's get this alt season ready. Some people are still convinced we are going to 40K, and we could. Don't write it out. Remember, all we know is the fact of our own ignorance. The lifer taught us that, and I'm going to stick to it. You do what you want to do, never financial advice. I'm going to stick to the fact that it could do anything at any time. But again, using certain indicators as the lifer teachers, almost all my TA, 100% I learned from the lifer, and I've been, following the lifer and learning from him for years. You lose moving averages. So if we just got back above the 4-hour, 200-day moving average, that's one of those lines in the sand. If you lose that, then you're in trouble, right? Then I would start thinking, well, maybe we're not going to sustain this pump long term, but it'd still probably take a day or two, right? To see if we're going to hold above it. Apparently, the timing of this pump matches the last bear market exactly. I think we've been in a bear market, like I really do, for almost a year. Before they went to the bottom, I shared the X post in the Discord in the general chat. Manad up 8%. Woo woo. Hope you've been trading, Camps. I hope you've been crushing it. I know there's quite a few people who've been trading and crushing it. Shout out to Bankroll, right? Bankroll, he comes to the live stream sometimes, but he's working hard every day in his tab over on the Discord. Link in the chat, also in the description, along with many other links that we have for our community and things. And so if you really want to have a place to hang out and trade and you don't already have one, you might want to check out that tab in our Discord. And of course, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, I don't know what you're doing. Hop in there. Market cap, 24.8 million. It's a free Discord, by the way. I'm not just selling you something. And it's been as high as 25 million. Bitway, it's one of those things where I'm like, I could say I'm not bullish on Bitway because I'm not. And that's where I was going with my whole explanation earlier about Bitcoin DeFi, not just the techie side of it, the retail psychological reception to Bitcoin DeFi. It just never slaps, in my opinion. I'd love to see Bitcoin DeFi coins run. I just haven't seen it yet. And I had at one point bought into, what coin was that? Hemi. I bought Hemi a long time ago. It did nothing. I turned, $50 into 20 bucks. And I ended up selling it at one point when I was trading for a little bit more capital. And, now I don't own it anymore. So if it pumps, I won't get anything out of that Bitcoin DeFi pump because I don't really hold any Bitcoin DeFi. Anyways, we talked a lot about these. I'm just going to click on some of these ones that I want to highlight because they're new. And this is Creator. I don't like the camel case lettering in their name. I think that's retarded or not good. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I'm not very politically correct most of the time. It is what it is. Fandom Creator is a Web3 technology and IP-focused company operating in the creator economy, entertainment, and fan engagement sector. All right, it's at 18.1 million. It's been as high as 22 million. Honestly, the chart on this thing looks pretty good. And we will visit their website and take a look at it. Been making money on BTC. That's what I like to hear. So what are we looking for here? Are we looking for maybe some kind of retracement? Right now, you're just coming down to the 0.382. Are you going to continue to come down? This doesn't have all our extra ones in it because this is just the trading view that's built into Crypto Rank. So it's not like my trading view where I have other levels in my Fibonacci retracement. But I think maybe you could look for this thing to come down. One thing I always say is where you bounce and start trending back up and break your, previous high kind of shows how strong it is. So there's a big difference between this thing coming down to like your 0.382 and bouncing and coming out of this region and it coming way down to like your 786 and then trending back up, right? I think that's a different show of strength for a project or a coin on their chart. Now let's go to their website. Their website does have a .ai, so you know that they're integrating some kind of AI. Are they doing it to be trendy, or do they really have some AI stuff? I don't really know. They have this daily earn where you can just check in and you can just earn, a couple of coins. Looks like it didn't sign me in, which is very interesting. See if we got to sign in with MetaMask. Don't tell me I got to log in. All right, I don't. And I'd be making MetaMask work hard. It'd be swapping through different chains constantly. 1 minute I'm on BNB, the next minute I'm on StarkNet, the next minute I'm back to Ethereum. All right, million fandom ways to earn tokens. So a lot of this stuff is about rewarding you with their token. And what was their token worth? What did we say it was? Right now, the token is worth about 5 cents. And now that I'm locked in, you'll see locked in. Yeah, I'm locked in, but now that I'm logged in, you can go to daily earn. There we go. It's a little slow. And you could just grab your daily coin for just signing in. I think it's just to drive some interaction here. And then all else they really have is quiz, which usually are very foreign actors and stuff. I don't know who any of these people are. I just click one because I will never know who these people are. And then if you do get one of the chips from getting it right, you can go to this gacha and you can spin and get 3, 5, or 10 coin. Everything is about, receiving their coin. But aside from that, and this is Fandora AI, the coin or the project's called Creator. You'll see popular quests where people make quests and stuff like that, which is kind of a cool element in social media. You kind of make a quest and give a reward for people doing it. Then you have like your top creators up here. And it seems like it's very new. I don't know how happening it is or how long it'll stick around, but it's very new. So you could spend a lot of time trying to create on there and get a lot out of it. You could spend a lot of time trying to create on there and it just kind of roll over and die eventually. We'll see. Time will tell. And where else do we want to go? Of course, espresso, opinion. We've been over those a lot. I would have spent a lot of time on that stuff because I don't really think that most of my regulars here, they've heard me talk about it too much. Melissa says, touch, grab, press, or smack that like button. It would be truly appreciated. I certainly echo that. I agree with that. I would appreciate it if you smash the like button, subscribe. It's a choice, but of course I would tell you to subscribe. I'm biased on that. And then, of course, the link to our Discord in the chat, it's in the description. Come on over. It's a free Discord. Hang out with the community. Of course, I just loaded our talking points up, and it's already confused and taking forever. I'll give it 1 second, right? That's about it. Come on. Anyways, how many people are interested in that airdrop, right? How many people are interested in trying to farm that airdrop? As far as the Robinhood testnet airdrop, it's free. I don't see any reason not to mess with it even a little bit. Even if you're not consistent with it, I think you mess with it at least a couple of times and do the basic stuff with it and see if you can't get something out of it. Of course. Talking points failing me now. All right, I will try to work on that in a minute. We'll come back to it. Let's check out our top gainers, top losers of the day. Top gainer is Edge or Definitive, I should say. Mantra, not surprising there with the change in contracts. Centrifuge, War, GRX Chain, Knock Chain, Thala, Limitless, Shuffle, Sisic, Mimble Coin. That's pretty funny. And Venice Token. What's our top loser of the day? Quack AI, right? I guess they were all just a bunch of quacks because that thing, I haven't really seen it do anything crazy, and now it's dumping. Underground, when the page does that, refresh the page, bro. Oh, Blues Guy, I'm well aware. A lot of times it'll pop up, though. This chat that I have is so big, right, that it's very likely to take more time if I refresh it than if I just give it the time to come up. But I got you, man. I feel you. Normally, that is what I would do. A short story about who actually runs crypto. So if you didn't know, the title of the show today is called Who Runs Crypto? And that's what we're going to be talking about, right? This series has been moving us through a little bit longer, where like a lot quicker, when the last series was literally a week of us talking about where value comes from, right? Now we're talking about who actually runs crypto. So at first glance, blockchain appears to be automatic. Transactions happen, blocks appear, state updates like memory, right? Or the ledger. The system seems to operate by itself. But underneath that software is a network of participants. Machines and operators working together to maintain agreement. And we talked a lot about how it's all one giant agreement. Even the value is very much agreed upon value. These participants run nodes. A node is simply a computer running the blockchain software. It stores the system's history and verifies that new transactions follow the rules. When a transaction spreads across the network, nodes independently check whether it is valid. And we've talked about things like ZK rollups versus optimistic rollups when it comes to validity or validating. They act as the system's guardians, right? And they also are what make up the system, because if you had no nodes, no validators, nothing would move and the system would really cease to operate or exist. Some participants take on more active roles, like validators, right? Validators collect transactions from the mem pool, where transactions sit and wait for the validator, and access them and assemble them, into blocks. So they go from the mem pool, they're put together in batches, those become blocks. These blocks are proposed the next state update for the network. So every time a block is minted on the network, you're really updating the ledger of transactions or the state of the network. Other nodes then verify that that block follows all the rules before they accept it. This coordination process is called consensus. And you'll hear us talk about this is this blockchain's consensus protocol, aka how it works, the difference between proof of work or proof of stake, proof of liquidity, proof of useful liquidity. There are a lot of variations and different takes across different networks about how to run consensus, but nevertheless, how it runs is the consensus of that network. Now, consensus allows thousands of independent machines to maintain a shared version of reality. If two conflicting histories appear, consensus rules determine which one of those the network accepts. The remarkable aspect is that no central authority decides. And so what is the whole point of this whole thing was to get away from a centralized, controlled system to a decentralized system. And somebody had to figure out, how do we make a system where everybody can participate and everybody kind of agrees and we have rules in place, but nobody's necessarily in charge. And we've done a whole series on who's actually in charge in crypto and who really has the power. Where is the power, come together in crypto, and how does power look in crypto versus in your traditional systems? Now, the network runs not because someone controls it, but because participants continuously enforce its rules. Oh, I missed this one. I skipped it. Instead, the system relies on incentives and rules. Participants contribute resources, computational power, and staked capital, and receive rewards for maintaining honest behavior. Crypto systems survive because agreement is maintained collectively rather than imposed centrally. Let's get our talking points ready for the next part, and we'll go ahead and jump somewhere else. And we've already been running through a lot of stuff here. So let's go over and take a look at our top gainers. Definitive, or Edge is the ticker. Let's take a look at this thing, because I know I've heard of it before. I've probably gone over it before, but I don't quite remember. Crisco's in the house. Oh, I see. Gotcha, man. Of course. You tried that. Yeah, a lot of times I hit the refresh on the talking points, and it just takes forever. It's better off to let it load, honestly. It's there somewhere. It's just not ready, right? Yep, hit that like and sub, boys and girls. Thank you, Blues Guy. Shout out to my wonderful mods. All right, let's talk about Definitive, right? 50.4 million in market cap, and you can see this max chart token generation event back in April 1st, 2025. And you can see we had this big run up to 74 cents. This was August 17th, 2025. And from there, it's been pretty much downward action, other than this one little bounce right there. And we came all the way down to about 9 cents. And now we're back to 18. So it just doubled up on you real quick here locally. Let's go to the 7-day. Yep, 96% in the last 7 days. So this would have been a quick double up. Of course, when you were up here at 30 cents, you would have been up over 100%, right? Definitive is an institutional grade, non-custodial, decentralized finance, or DeFi, trading platform designed for advanced on-chain execution across multiple blockchains, EVM, Solana. It enables users to trade any token with sophisticated order types such as limits, stop loss, and TWAPs by routing through 100+ liquidity venues for optimal price. The platform is powered by the Edge utility token. Camsta says, really becoming a fan of the 5-minute and the 3-minute chart. I love the 3-minute. The 3-minute is such a good in between the 1 and the 5. The same way that I love the 7-minute. The 7 is a great in between for the 5 and the 15, right? So a lot of times it's a little unconventional. I'll use the 1, the 3, the 7, 15, and the hour, and I like to kind of use them all together. It definitely takes a while. One thing that I will say, I'm gonna talk for a minute, because we all family here, crypto family here, shout out to all my people, is that one of the hardest things when you first start trading, and I think anybody will attest to this, is the different time frames, right? I don't know exactly what I would advise if I was to give some kind of advice on charts, but you know, at first it's almost good to kind of stick with 1 to 2 time frames, like maybe the 5 and the 15, or the 15 and the hour and the 4-minute, depending on how you want to trade. You want to be all in the sauce, like tick by tick, then maybe you want to be in the 1 and the 5. But if you're working all day and you're trying to make longer term trades, then you might want to do more like the 15, the hour, maybe the 4 hour. But my point is, you'll confuse yourself big time when you move in between time frames, especially if you're looking at things like the RSI. You're looking for things that are, you know, lining up in one direction, bullish or bearish, and you'll be like, the 1 hour looks bullish, but the 4 hour super bearish, and you know, the 15 minutes also bearish, but the 5-minute or the 3-minute is looking super bullish. And the best thought that I can have around that is, think of it in time frames of how long it takes the stochastic RSI generally to move from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top, right? With the 3-minute, you're probably looking at something short of an hour, 45, 50 minutes, something like that, 40 to 50 minutes, where like the 15-minute could take several hours to move from the top to the bottom. Now, of course, if you have a really big move and then you have the next 15-minute candle update, that stochastic can move all the way to the almost the top, if not the top, in one 15-minute candle, but that's not necessarily normal. I hope that helps somebody. Scalpers choose the 5 and the 3. Yeah, I like to use the 1, the 3, and the 7, 15. Those I really love to use in combination. I was doing the 1 minute and the 15-minute and losing my shirt. The 1 minute can chew you up because you constantly like, oh, here's a little flag, but it doesn't play out because you weren't looking at the 5-minute. The 5-minute, you know, stochastic RSI was high, or there was bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence on the 5, and you saw like a little bit of a pattern on the 1. So yeah, definitely using them in tandem is kind of like the beginner's first step into trading a little bit better. Anyways, 1 billion max supply. Circulating supply 275.4 million here for definitive or edge. And let's hop over here. Advanced trading on every chain. Let's launch the app. Now, if I recall, this was one of the decentralized trading platforms that I really liked. If memory serves me correctly, base leaderboard. All right, and one thing that I like to measure any decentralized exchange by is just how much stuff they have on it, right? Because we go to some of them and it's like Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin, and that's it. Which, you know, if that's all you trade, I used to trade only BTC for a really long time. If that's all you trade, then you're happy about that. But if not, then maybe you're not happy about it. I'm glad to see we're getting a little bit of a move to the upside here. Yeah, a lot of coins on here, but not a crazy amount. This is any chain, and then you can come look very specifically at certain chains. I'm probably going to start trading a little bit again here now that the market is looking a little bit more bullish. But I'd like to see it do another day or two without losing the 400. Without losing the 4-hour, 200-day moving average. And it has a lot of different chains on here. Even Blast, which a lot of people said is most likely to die. I think it was Melissa that posted a chart of a bunch of coins that, you know, had high chances of becoming dead projects. And Blast was on it. Not that I can say I was really surprised, but, you know, Blast is not that old of a project. Anyways, this is their actual token here. This is the Edge token. And what does it have me on? The 1 hour? All right, not the easiest to change here. You can change your interval, so I can go to like 90, not applicable. Okay. So, okay, it's up here. I'm like, where can I change? Let's go to the daily on this thing. And as you can see, this coin's been around for a little while here. All right, and that's Edge. Just wanted to touch on some of our top gainers, top losers of the day here. I think there was like one or two other projects in the top gainers that I wanted to look at. One of them was War, because I believe that War is it's a launch pad. I thought it had something to do with GameFi off the top of my head. Bonk.fun. So this looks like it is a launch pad on Bonk.fun, which is interesting because Bonk.fun is also a launch pad. Yeah, so this is a project over there. I've seen it on the radar a few times. Of course, now that I clicked on it, I do remember it. We're on the 5 minute. I don't want to be on the 5 minute. Take me at least to the 4 hour. And this is War. Was launched on Pump.fun. Man, if you got in early on that, or sorry, not Pump.fun, Bonk.fun. They're both launch pads, right? But if you got in early on this thing, my goodness, all the way down here at 0.0001 or even 3, and this thing went all the way to 4 cents. So you could have made a lot of money on this. Of course, hindsight's 2020. Never kick yourself over these projects to do crazy things, because you can't be in every community all the time doing all the research about everything that's going on. It just is too much. And that is, again, a big reason why I set out to do this channel and build this community, because we need people that are very niched into different things, right? Like if somebody loves Pump.fun coins, meme coins, maybe they're really locked in. They even are on things like Bonk.fun. Those people would be great in our community. And then you pair that with another person who's maybe like a very TA or economic, world global economic, and you pair those together with somebody else who's very good at airdrops and somebody else who's very good at raising your crypto IQ, and we start putting all of this stuff together, and all of a sudden we are seeing opportunities all over the place, right? And when you start to learn who we can trust and who we can't trust as far as their judgment on different things, but it really builds an awesome community for us to bounce ideas and look for opportunities, right? Now, one thing I've been meaning to do is to come over here to the Crypto Rank main homepage and take a look at some of the other things that they have up here for us, right? They got the market cap, Bitcoin dominance. We don't look at Bitcoin dominance a lot. I might start trying to read that a little more often. And Bitcoin dominance, 57%. Blues Guy says, best community ever. Hey, I'll take it. Best host in the realm. I will take that as well. Thank you for your kindness. Altcoin index. Woo. All right. So Bitcoin season, altcoin season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season. Okay. Anybody get the reference? Maybe I'm too old now. All right. Bitcoin season. We are coming out of that Bitcoin season, it looks like, into altcoin season, but we haven't even hit the middle line. That's a really cool indicator. I don't spend a lot of time looking at everything on the main page here. Then you have your token unlock dynamics. Let's click on that and see what kind of information they give us about token unlocks. Important upcoming unlocks. So Kita, that's one I've heard talked about a lot. Movement, DeFi.app, Lena, Rain, which we talked about being a prediction market. Makaverse, never heard of that. And then they have one that's exclusive. They're not going to tell you about unless you sign up for it, right? Token generation event unlocks. The top two are exclusive. They don't want to tell us, but you have Hyperland. So just some more information that we can start incorporating on a daily basis here. One thing I want to do, let's do some news real quick, because it's like a hit or miss if I remember to do it. Please give me all relevant news in cryptocurrency, blockchain, and even across Twitter for today. All right, let's see what they give us here. When I add the Twitter in, it really gives me a different dynamic. If I don't say anything about Twitter, it gives me like your normal like CBS kind of like news. But when you add that in, oh no, it gave me the normal format. All right. Anyways, why is crypto up? Right. Bitcoin reclaims 71,000 as market shrugs off Middle East escalation. Now, It's a good point, and I've been saying it since the very beginning of this whole interaction with Iran, if you want to call it an interaction, more like a destruction of Iran, at least the government, not the people. But anyways, the point is the markets didn't really react crazy, and you try to make sense of this stuff, and sometimes you're just going to have a hard time. Like, can you explain to me why Trump comes on and says, I'm going to raise tariffs 10% globally across the board, or 15, whatever, that's not the point. And everybody freaks out. But then we kill the leader of a country, the dictator of a country, and nothing happens. Relatively nothing happens across the board. One of those seems like a much more significant event in the world, in the markets, in the economies. I know that the Korean market didn't do too well. Anybody see that? Korean market took a hit. They must rely on them for a lot of stuff. I don't know. But our market really didn't care. It was like it was priced in already. Is this what the anticipation, because it's been building up for some time, right? Obviously, we had to move assets into play, a lot of it being Navy ships and stuff that they told us were being moved, and I think a lot of it was priced in, and I think a lot of it was what was holding crypto or BTC back. And then there's a whole other thing we can go into, like, why does BTC even care? If anything, people having to move with maybe large amounts of money and asset makes a good case for Bitcoin. And you would think that market share or market cap would go up for BTC with a lot of people trying to run away from where they are. I don't know. There's a lot of different thoughts there. I'm more just trying to get the gears turning than to give you like a definitive answer. Bitcoin short sellers caught off guard in new White House move. And also were a lot of people getting a little bit too short, where they just kind of washing everybody out. Cardano Charles Hoskin warns Clarity Act could be SEC's wet dream. That's how he put it. Okay, I don't really know. The Clarity Act really only, from my understanding, and I did a video on it for the channel not too long ago, my understanding, Clarity Act is very much about clarifying stable coins and who can issue them and having authorized issuers. And if you operate in America, you can't just willy-nilly make a stable coin and issue it and make a bunch of money off of that stable coin. Like, you're going to need the United States approval to do so. Harvard picks ETH USD after trimming BTC ETF exposure. We talked about this the other day. They sold a bunch of Bitcoin ETF and bought ETH USD, probably ETH ETF. Probably because we're moving into some altcoin season, so maybe ETH is better. Not quite sure right there. BlackRock moves 3,810 BTC in major Coinbase Prime transfer. So that's on the radar. South Korea tax service leaks seed phrases. Nice. Why would you give a tax service your seed phrase? That I don't understand. Loses 4.8 million and sees crypto. So maybe they gave the seed phrase to a specific wallet that was somehow involved in something criminal, and then it got seized. I don't really know. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, if I had somebody doing my taxes and they asked me for the seed phrase to my wallet, I'd be like, no, absolutely not. Okay, market and macro. We kind of already talked about that. BTC's back to 71,000. That's really what we're talking about here. Kindness is cool. I agree with that. Yep. So HR 3633, which I believe is the Clarity Act, is a U.S. House passed bill designed to create comprehensive regulatory framework for digital assets. It aims to resolve jurisdiction disputes by classifying most crypto assets as digital commodities under the Commodities Futures Trading Commission rather than securities, while enhancing investor protection. BTC, the GOAT, man, has the most volume. That it definitely does. I mean, the only thing that comes even close would maybe be Ethereum in market cap, right? Or dominance in the space. Are we still calling ETH an altcoin, or are we all agreed it's its own thing now? All right. So BlackRock moves some BTC around, Harvard rotating, Clarity Act drama. I might be thinking of the first bill they passed, and the Clarity Act might be the second one. Off the top of my head, I really don't remember. Macro and geopolitical impacting crypto. And then it says, this is where it kind of gets me a little off guard, is it says, war headlines shook markets. Did it? Did it shook markets? I mean, Bitcoin's been pumping. Does that sound like people are getting, scared? And maybe what I said earlier is true. Maybe a lot of people ran into Bitcoin, right? Security and industry incident. South Korea seed phrase leak. Hackers drained 4.8 million worth of crypto. It says it was seized. Seed phrase tied to seized crypto. Okay, so they seized some crypto and then hackers stole the seed phrase. Very interesting. All right, what's trending over on Twitter would be our next part here. Lifer comes on and sends it constantly. He goes live at a very strategic time. It's not an accident. No more 10 a.m. dumps thanks to Jane Street getting gimped. Yeah, it sounds like they were very much responsible, and I'm sure there were other players doing a lot of the same stuff. But with so much attention around it, it seems like maybe they've chilled out. But how long will they chill out? That's the question. All right, so some of the most discussed topics on X today. ETF flow tracking, right? Analysts and traders are obsessing over ETF flows and institutional demand. Those are some good metrics. Bitcoin rally narrative. Many traders are posting charts about 71K, 74K breakout and debating whether a new leg of the bull market is starting, aka a bottom. Kraken Fed access rumor, right? Kraken's been pretty solid, but they're not going to be able to fight letting the regulator in forever if they want to operate in places like America. I just don't see how they're going to do it. They're either going to comply or they're going to be shut down. Post claim Kraken may have received approval for Federal Reserve master account. Okay, so this is a totally different thing. I don't know what a Federal Reserve master account is, but it sounds really cool, which would be huge for crypto banking integration. So anybody notice how like a lot of these exchanges, I believe Coinbase, XRP, and there were a couple others got, banking approval to be legit banks as far as what you would need is paperwork and stuff, right? Macro war versus crypto narrative. So again, back to that. Is Bitcoin a safe haven or still a risk asset? Key takeaways from the market. Main takeaway, the dominant narrative right now is institutional demand via ETFs. As long as those flows remain positive, the market structure stays bullish, even with macro chaos. So, of course, this most recent bull run, even if it felt a little lackluster to a lot of us, BTC went from 15,000 to 127,000, depending on what chart you're looking at, right? And a lot of that was completely around the news of Bitcoin ETFs. So ETFs have become a very dominant force in our market, right? And so with that being said, people are going to be paying a lot of attention to inflows and outflows for institutional ETFs, or just ETFs in general. I don't know if they're all institutional. All right, shout out to anybody who's here. Let's do those talking points. Let's raise that crypto IQ. It is the MO and the point of the channel. We have a lot of fun stuff to do, but we need to do our due diligence, and we're just getting to the end of that, right? So why blockchain needs participants? Why do we need people in blockchain? This should be a little bit self-explanatory, but remember, each show builds on itself, and each week is its own series. Now, if you want a little bit more of this crypto IQ, just straight into the vein, right? Straight into the brain, I should say. Then check out the videos that we're going to be doing every Monday through Saturday, right? Is going to be the talking points from previous shows, not the one from that day or the one from the day before. We're backed up a couple of weeks, which is good. And I did this on purpose, really, because I want you guys to kind of recap, right? It's a quick recap. Most of the videos are 5 to maybe 8 minutes long, if that, and they just recap you. So if you watch those, hopefully you've seen them before. If it's ones you missed, then all the better. And so I wouldn't sleep on them just because they are the talking points from the shows, because it's just a quick little recap to help you raise that crypto IQ. And remember that the more you hear it, the more you're going to know it. A lot of people feel like they hear something one time and they know it. You need to hear something many, many times. It's something advertisers have known forever. Most people don't genuinely care to even think about a product until it's been put in front of them with an ad 7 to 8 times, at least. All right, let's move along. Why blockchains need participants? Blockchains are distributed systems. They require independent participants to maintain records, validate transactions, and enforce protocol rules. Without participants, the system cannot function. Number 2, what nodes do. A node is a computer running a blockchain software, right? Pretty simple. Nodes maintain copies of the blockchain and verify that transactions follow the protocol rules. Nodes enforce the system's integrity. Right there, I think, is probably one of the most simple ways you could tell somebody what a node is if they have at least a basic understanding of blockchain, right? So nodes enforce the system's integrity. A full node versus a light node, because you'll hear this terminology quite a bit. Full nodes store the complete chain history, all of it, and independently validate transactions, right? So you have the whole thing, all the memory, all the state of everything that has ever happened on a blockchain since day one, hour one, minute one, second one, whatever you want to call it. A light node relies on the full nodes for verification and requires fewer resources. Both contribute to the network's accessibility. Now, one thing that I've learned is that this is a bit of a challenge with most networks when it comes to scaling, right? Because it takes quite a bit of an ability, depending on the blockchain, depending on how old it is. Think about the difference between trying to store every transaction that's ever happened on SWI or SEI, right? Versus trying to store every transaction that's ever happened on Bitcoin or Ethereum. It takes a lot more data, right? It takes a lot more memory and probably servers and actual physical gear to do that as a node operator or a validator or both. Where using something like a ZK proof, a zero knowledge proof, is actually going to be a huge advancement in this place of blockchain technology, because now you can verify without storing the entire history of every transaction. But somebody has to, right? Just because you can use a ZK proof to quickly verify something doesn't mean somebody doesn't need to hold the entire history. So let's put that into perspective. Hopefully I'm not getting too techie on you guys. Hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm saying. Bro, I'm going to make a short video on how to make a node on XRP and generate dollars by itself. Pretty cool, my man. Hey, I've checked out some of those. It's funny because a lot of the nodes run off of AWS. When I watched a video a long time ago about how to start and run your own XRP node, I wish I would have did it. When I broke the numbers down, I think it would have cost me about $220 a month, and that's paid to AWS to have their servers run that node. But yeah, make a video on it, man. That'd be really cool. I'd love to see it. I can post it on the channel if you want me to. If you want to just post it on your channel, that is up to you. I will let you make that decision for sure, because it's your decision either way. Full nodes store the complete blockchain history, right, and validate transactions. Light nodes rely on the full nodes for verification and require fewer resources. Both contribute to the network's accessibility. Validators and block production, right? So now we're getting into blocks, right, and it's actually being made in real time what is going on. Validators are specialized participants. So they are participants, but they're not just participants, right? Responsible for proposing and introducing new blocks. They gather transactions from the mempool and assemble them into blocks, right? This is where it actually happens. Validators extend the chain, right? So they add the next block in the chain. Think of a link of chain, right? Somebody's got a long link of chain somewhere in their house they use for pulling another car out of a mud or something like that, right? Think of another chain link being added and another chain link being added and so on and so forth. That's what the validator is doing. Now, proof of work versus proof of stake. Sorry about that. So what we're talking about a lot here is very basic blockchain stuff. But when you get into different consensus, right, or different ways that take the word consensus and make it simple, right? The way a blockchain works, the reasoning and the rules behind how it works. For example, proof of work versus proof of stake. These are the two most common ones that people probably ever hear, but do you understand them? So if you've ever had anybody explain to you what Bitcoin mining is, then you were talking about proof of work. Proof of stake is different, but still is a consensus for networks. Ethereum moved from proof of work to proof of stake, where Bitcoin is still proof of work. So different networks choose validators differently, and this is where it comes down to. Proof of work uses computational effort to secure the network. An advanced mathematical, I want to say system, but that's not the right word, equation, to constantly secure the network. Proof of stake uses locked capital as the security for the network. Both mechanisms determine who produces blocks. Consensus mechanisms. Consensus ensures that distributed participants agree on the current state of blockchain. And we talked a lot about agreement, right? We talked a lot about how when you go into a wallet and you have a transaction, that transaction that you see, that you approve and you sign it, right? Because I'll always say sign. With your seed phrase or with your wallet, you're signing it, right? That you are a valid user in the network. That is just a proposal, right? When you click go, it doesn't just automatically become finality or finished on the blockchain. Then it goes to a mempool. Your proposal goes to a mempool. It's a suggestion, right? And it's not official until the validator picks it up out of the mempool, puts it in a block, and validates that block and makes that next link in the blockchain. I hope this is building day by day. So it prevents conflicting histories and double spending, right? Consensus creates a shared reality, an agreed upon reality. So decentralization and security. When many independent participants run nodes and validators, the network becomes harder to control or manipulate. Decentralization increases resilience. Incentives for participation. Now, we've talked a lot about this with who runs crypto, value, like incentive in crypto is a very important point that you just can't go around, right? Participants are rewarded for contributing resources and enforcing the rules. Rewards align individual incentive with network security. And incentives can look anything like the fees that validators get for being a part of running the network to airdrops that is an incentive for people to participate in a test net so the test net can be tested and eventually go live. Or mainnet, right? All right, so the core insight here is crypto networks function because independent participants collectively maintain and verify the system. So one thought that I really want to throw out there is that if Bitcoin wasn't mineable originally back in the day, if people couldn't earn money or earn Bitcoin by participating, and they still do to today, by the way, it just takes a lot more computational power and a lot more money. If there was no incentive, how much would the Bitcoin system have evolved? Like, right? Would it have taken over in the way that it did? Would it have become such a big thing if you couldn't earn Bitcoin from doing that? One thing we really need in this community is somebody who has a lot of experience with mining. That would be a lot of fun because I would have a lot of questions to answer or to ask them to be answered. And I would love to run some mining, but I get really confused. I've tried to get into it a few times. I had a buddy of mine who kept saying he wanted to get into it, but like kind of wanted me to figure it out. And I could figure it out, but I just didn't have the time or the resources to buy a bunch of stuff. Because originally I thought you buy a miner and then you kind of tell it what you want to mine. That is not exactly how it works to my understanding. Some things can mine multiple coins, some of them can't. Some of them are very specifically built for certain networks, which is a problem to me. If you could have a miner and it could mine what you wanted it to, and then if that started being irrelevant or that chain died or it rug pulled or whatever, and I could just go into it and change it to a different coin, then I would be more all about doing some mining. But if it's purpose built specifically for one thing, well, then when that goes down, your money is wasted. All right. So let's just take a look at the hour on the crypto bubbles here. Pippin down 2.5%, Zero down 1.7%, and Kite is actually the biggest bubble here, up 4.5%. MemeCore up 1.1%. Let's drop down, at least look at the top 300 here. Quantum resistant layer continuing to move. Venice token continuing to move. What is RLB? Roll Bitcoin. I don't know anything about that, but it's starting to move 1.5%. Humanity 2.1%. Go mining up 1%. Speaking of mining, And let's drop down another 100. Of course, Ohm and Mantra. It's funny to see Ohm bounce because who's buying Ohm at this point? I don't know. Maybe some people are bullish on Ohm. It's Mantra now, right? Sahara AI, Aster, Espresso, Centrifuge, and UB. So Espresso up to 12, almost 12 and a half cents. Now let's go look. Let's bounce over to the charts, right? Anything anybody wants to look at, just put it down in the chat. I don't require a super chat. Take advantage of us being a small channel. And if there's something you want me to look at, I can do that for you. All right, let's go over to Pippin. And a Pippin getting a little bit of a bounce here. And man, did this thing fall a lot. I think it scared a lot of people who thought this was a great project. And I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just saying it's got to have scared a lot of people because that thing fell quickly. And if you kind of pull the full range here, once you break this zero line, right, say here, once you break that, I kind of just then expand it to the bigger range. That's kind of my opinion. And you're getting a bounce. Look at that. You can't make this stuff up. You pull that full range, and I'll even be meticulous with it and make sure we get like the full range. And you are bouncing right off of that 786. Let's put it on the 4 hour so it'll consolidate it a little bit more. Look at that thing. Look at it bounce off of that 786. So people who are pulling their fibs, people who love their fibs, probably saw this thing get down to the 786, or they had a bunch of buy orders already set. I know some people trade like that, and that's like all they do to trade. They wait for the big pumps to happen, they wait for the pullback to start, the retracement, and then they start setting their orders low, right? Stop loss usually under the zero line. And then you just go from there and hope that you get down, get your orders fill at 7.8, golden pocket, light, heavier at the 706 and heaviest at the 786, and then you wait for it to return to the upside. So is that what's going to happen for Pippin? I don't know. I'm not a super bullish on Pippin kind of person here, so I'm not going to try to sell you Pippin like I think it's the greatest thing ever, but I do understand that it has a little bit of real tech behind it as far as what we've gone over. All right, I came to check out Espresso, which was what? ESP is the ticker, I believe. Got it. All right. So let's take a look at it. Perpetuals on Binance, as a lot of places feed from Binance perpetuals. If you're trading perpetuals, that is. All right. And the same kind of thing here. 786. You could draw a flag. There's some things that you could do here. So let's check it out. So first things first, let's maybe try to put this in a bit of like a falling wedge. It's more of a actual triangle here. And we'll pull our measured move. And I mean, that says Espresso could be at a discount right now and be pumping up to maybe 23 cents. So we'll keep that on the radar. And let's get rid of that for a second. And let's, I guess we'll stay on the 4 hour. Let's go to the Fibonacci retracement from this impulse. From my understanding, I pull from this impulse because that's where the price action really started to take off, where, this is really just shot up. Where if you look at more like this was more like sideways action, even if you kind of had the double bottom in there, the W pattern for the win. And let's see where we're at. Looks like you're really dipped down into the golden pocket a couple of times. And is it going to round off? Oh, I see an Adam and Eve. I see an Adam and Eve here. I got to look over on weeks where I've been trading. There is a link in the description to my weeks if you want to trade over there with me. I see an Adam and Eve double bottom there really starting to play out. Adam and Eve double bottoms are strong. Like I'd give the thing almost like, Lifer I think usually says 90%, and I'm going to roll with that because he would definitely know. Look at that thing. That looks really good. Unreal Scallywag. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Says almost the 1 year anniversary of Mantra rugging. Nice. Well, they had an anniversary event, I guess, where they just continued to mess that coin in their ecosystem and community up, is what it feels like. I've never been big on Mantra or Ohm, So there we go, man. I'm really feeling like long in this coin right now. Very like, and catching a big move. Like, I'd love to put a long in for espresso and then just let that thing run. Let me see if I'm still logged in over at weeks. Of course, I'm not. It's been a little while since I've been over there, so there's that. Let me log in real quick. So dream away. And I got to go to my authenticator. I am not a robot. Because maybe we'll see if they have espresso over there. Maybe we can actually do something. All right, cool. I'm logged in. I'll port you guys over so you can see what I see now. First, let's go to futures. Of course, I clicked demo trading. That is not what I wanted. All right, and then let me make it so you can see what I see here. There we go. All right, so let's change it from Bitcoin. Let's see if they have espresso, and they do. Shout out to Weeks. They're really good about having coins, a lot like Mexi is. This is the perpetuals? What am I on? Oh, I'm on the 1 minute. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go to the 15 at least. And I still very much see that Adam and Eve starting here. And I still say you're pretty close to the bottom. It does look like it's pumping. It's not exactly where I would have wanted to get in, but I'm looking for a longer trade here. We're going to try this out. I got like 250 bucks over here. Let's move. And of course, I want the trade to run a little bit longer. So I do want to come down on my leverage here. All right, let's see what kind of numbers it gives me, because it's all a numbers game, right? When you're setting up your trade. Let's do like a nice 40 bucks here. And we can open up our parameters, a long position. Where are we getting liquidated at? That's what we really want to know. So liquidation price for a long is 0.116. Okay, so that would be before I even can get to a bottom, the bottom prices here. I want a little bit more room than that to run here. So usually that means you got to bring your leverage down, play with your numbers a little bit. Now, where's my estimated liquidation? Now the numbers are not in the same place anymore. Gotta love that. Oh, because I haven't put any in yet. Let me get back over so I can see the chat. All right, so I'm looking to set up kind of a longer play on espresso. I actually would like to get a position and it be really small. And then if we pull back a little bit, then I'd like to get a little bit farther. So the bottom here is like 0.115. And my liquidation is still before. This is the thing with a lot of these small tokens is it can be really difficult to get a good, liquidation. Oh, see, I'm rusty, guys. I just thought of something completely. I'm going to add to my margin, right? So let's make it more like 10% of the portfolio. We're on 10x leverage. I'm going to increase that back to 12 because I'm going to add to my margin, right? And I want, let's see, what is my target liquidity or liquidation? I want my target liquidation to be like down here at like 9 cents. That would be amazing. Can I get it that low? I don't really know. I don't know what happened. It took it away. So let's go 10%, or actually 8%, because I think I'm going to want to add to it here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and open it. I got to open it first before I can even add to my margin. Right now, my liquidation is like 11 cents 7. Price action is at 12.4, 12 cents, 0.124. And let's add to our margin. I got, looks like $20 in it. I want to put probably, let's put 25 bucks in our margin and see where that moves us to. So that moves us to 10 cents. Let's add a little bit more. Let's add another $25. So $50 in margin gets me down to under 9 cents. That's exactly what I wanted. And I am looking to add a little bit to this position, right? And we're going to see how this plays out. Because those Adam and Eve's double bottoms are strong. And then I'm going to go into trading view, just in the back end real quick. And I'm going to set an alert. And I'll show you guys where I'm setting the alert in just a moment. But let me go ahead and set it. Because it would basically be us losing this bottom. If we lose this bottom, I'm pretty much out on it. All right, let me get back to where you guys are. All right, so give me a line here. I'll show you where I'm setting my alert at the bottom, right? If we lose this bottom here at the farthest down at this local price action, then I'm willing to bet it's going to keep going down. All right, we're already up 9 cents. And I'm really hoping to watch this play for probably 2, 3 days, 4 days, maybe a week, and really get some movement. I actually need to set another alert. I think my next alert will be at these highs up here. And I'll just put that on there so you can see it. I have to actually go to Trading View to set that alert. I could set it as a take profit, but it could also like run really hard and get a lot more to the upside if I just leave it alone. So I hate to set a take profit and then I come back and it's way past it, right? All right, so that's kind of a little bit of what I'm doing. I'll be working my way back into trading a little bit. I do want to see what River's doing. Just curiosity gets the best of you, even though River's gotten the best of me quite a bit. Make a ton of money, double my portfolio in 2 days, and then give it all back. That seems to be what's been going on for me with River. So I really just want to see 24-hour trading volume still low, 38.1 million. A lot of trending to the upside here. See what the last 24 hours has been like. Yeah, you had this big pullback from 21 cents. And do we flip bullish now? Looks like a cup and handle to me. All right. So let's move along here. Let's talk about some chainers. Just do my daily stuff. And then we'll do what we need to do for the Robinhood testnet. Hopefully you guys are following along. If not, I guess you can live vicariously through me and then see what happens here. I'll stick with that Robinhood testnet for at least a year and some months if I have to, maybe a year and a half. If nothing comes of it in a year and a half, I'd be really surprised. But I kind of doubt that's what's going to happen here. And let's plant the plants. What is the point of chainers? Well, we're farming, right? We are farming. And we take the things that we farmed and we come to the farm stand. You got CFB, Pulmatic, and BNB. I like to go for the BNB. Hit all. Sell. See what it estimates us that we might get here. Very little, right? BNB's gone up a little bit. All right. And we just stack that day after day. Let's go to the main map. Grab our daily reward. Hopefully we get something decent for the farm. got some seeds. These one-time use seeds, I really wonder if they maybe yield a lot better. What's the point of the one-time seed? I'm not sure. Get our immutable X gems. And I will say, since I've been upgrading my fishing rod over on the Fogo fishing, I've been getting a lot more, unprocessed fish. I want to say tokens, but that's not very specific now, is it? So it looks like I have about 80,000. Plus I get a bonus of 110 just for holding it for so long. So I'd have like 171. And let's go take a look at what that's worth. Yes, there's an actual swap where you can go and swap those out. So we'll swap this. We'll put it to the fish token. Fogo Farm. Okay, what is Fogo Farm? I might have to check that out. There's fish. All right. And say we have 170,000. $8. Okay. So we'd be up to $8 at that point. And of course, if the fish token can go up a little bit, this could quickly become worth a lot more money. Now, one thing that you can do here is you can kind of come here and look at stuff to kind of look at what is going on in the Fogo ecosystem, right? If things start heating up for DeFi, that might be a good thing to do. So Fogo Farm, can I find that on CoinGecko? Nothing. Is there a ticker for it? Just farm. Only like a ton of things is going to come up for just farm. All right. Doesn't want to cooperate here. Farm. Yeah. Let's show more. Any of these say Fogo Farm? Where would I find this project? I'm just interested to look at it. Let's go to CryptoRank. It's probably going to be the same thing with a ticker like farm. That's not a good way to go. Too many things already have that are probably much more relevant and much bigger. If it's not in like the top 20, 30, then I'm just going to move along here. Coin farm. I mean, there are so many things with farm in it. Whose idea was to make the coin ticker farm? All right, we'll try Fogo. This is mostly just my curiosity here. Yeah, exactly. Getting nothing for that. All right, let's play a round of Panzer Dogs. We did our due diligence. Let's take the edge off. Thanks for being here on a Wednesday. Wednesday's usually really slow. And we'll move into that underground crypto hangout. Oh, I was going to do the Robinhood testnet stuff. I'll do it after one round. You know these rounds don't last very long. They're like 3 minutes. As we roll into an hour and a half live stream on a Wednesday night. Shout out to all the community. And I ask you a question. If you were going to go deeper somewhere into crypto, where would you go? Would it be meme coins? Would it be airdrops? Would it be just trading in general? Technical analysis, I should say. Where would you take it, right? Got him. Got 2 already. Yeah. Make it 3. Bang, got 4. I'm up to 4 kills. Grab that health and we're brand new. Shooting good today. Nice. Teamwork. Gotta love it when the team is working. Oh, got him down to 5 health. The king of getting him down to like under 20 health. Bang, bang. Got another one. I'm definitely getting top dog on this round. That's for sure. Man, I can't wait for them to actually, like, you know, put a little bit more stuff behind this. Oh, look at that lag. Oh, he's running for some health. That health ain't going to save you. Bang. He done. When we're not lagging, I'm a good shot usually. All right, 10-2. Did I get top dog? That's the question. Do I have another NFT to open? So top dog. Got some bonus scrap there. Did pretty good. Probably got a box I can open. And then we'll go do some Robinhood testnet type stuff. Not a whole lot to do there, but nonetheless, stuff to do. Let's check on that trade. It is down. I expected it to be down. Just for the record, that's why I only put $20 in it. Because I was looking for us to pull back a little bit here. I probably should have been a little bit more patient. But with it being a more long-term trade, I wasn't so worried about it. Because I want that thing to run for a few days. All right, we got enough to open a box. And let's see, if we can get the follow through with some altcoin season, that $20 could 3, 4, 5x. Would be great for the overall portfolio. Brassy skin. Okay, got an uncommon NFT there. Now let's go look at our faucet. Maybe claim some tokens. I don't even think I need to. Verify you're human. There you go. Claim those tokens. Successfully claimed. Can't claim for another 24 hours. Hop over to on-chain GM, where we're just making transactions, right? Any way that we can, we're making some transactions on the Robinhood testnet to show that our wallet is active and participating so that hopefully we can be rewarded at some point, right? So this was actually the deployment of a smart contract. And apparently you can do this over and over and over and over again. But over here you do the GM. Pretty sure that stands for good morning. At least it is when most people throw it in a chat. You can only do that like once every 21 hours, it looks like. NW, if you're still out there, let me know if is it smart to sit here and do the smart contract like 2, 3, 4 times. And he also gave us another place where we can do some stuff for the Robinhood testnet, but I think we did it all already. But we'll check that out real quick. Have it in my tabs. Superboard. So, and I'm really starting to learn a little bit more about where to look for opportunities and airdrops. This is a really good account that NW gave us. He's deep in this sauce. Shout out to him helping us learn here. Inc. airdrop, extra activity, 10 winners, 10 USDC each, simple activation, claim your domain on Inc. List your domain on Inc. Marketplace and enter the raffle. See, there's just opportunity, right? Titan second week rewards were distributed. I claimed $180. I meant 2 million. I think he meant like I met 2 million in volume. I probably burned around $200. I'm continuing to grind volume for the airdrop with very low fees. The third week has just started. I'll grind the third and fourth weeks too. Get my feelers back. Afterward, then throw some trades in between. Whatever comes from the airdrop is profit. Also, we're going to write a free ad for every post. I haven't fully figured that out yet. Got to be careful. Okay. Continue to farm free volume. Interesting. And there are some opportunities for sure that we could be looking at here. And this is probably a good place to look at other places for airdrops. But here's the Robinhood testnet exploration. And I think we've done pretty much everything on here. Says we got to log in. We'll log in with MetaMask. Again, my MetaMask just getting pulled in every direction. Robinhood testnet, Starknet, Ethereum, BNB, just constant. I guess you get a daily treat. I don't know what the heck you do with it, but I'll collect it, whatever. I got 2 treats, and I have no idea what to do with them. What do you do with them? Just feed this cat? All right, let's go back. I don't think there's really anything else to do. It says coming soon. All right, so I guess we just kind of wait for some more quests to come our way here. Otherwise, that's all we can do for the Robinhood testnet. Never did find this Fogo farm, but that's all right. If it doesn't pop up on the radar, it's probably not that significant. I really do like... What chart are we on? The 15-minute? Okay. Really do like my liquidation point right now is super low. Just under 9 cents, which is, way down here. And I got alerts set for TradingView. I want to make a secondary alert that's a little bit lower at like 10.5 cents. Just in case I missed that first one for some reason. And I'm not going hard. I'm not going big. I think I've risked about $70 altogether. If I were to get flash liquidated, it would suck, but it wouldn't be the entire account. Of course, most of that, it's $50 backing up $20, right? So I feel like if we lose this bottom over here, I'm probably going to roll out and just take my losses. But sometimes it's a little easier said than done. And if we could flag out now, simple life revision stuff, if we can make a nice flag of some sort. Wait for that 21 to come up into price action. If we could kind of go sideways. I mean, good chance you might have more of a downward wedge of some sort. Very possible. And yeah, we're going to take it day by day. Thank you all for being here. It's been a hectic day. Took the family out to a festival. It was like 2 hours away each direction, each time. So it was like 4 hours of driving today. Barely made it home like 15, 20 minutes before the live stream, but we still made it happen. I'm out here grinding for you. We got videos. They're going to be coming every day on those IQ raising events, right? The talking points in the short story. Even if you've seen the stuff, I highly encourage you to watch it. If you could do me a solid and let it play through, hit the like button and drop a comment. I greatly appreciate it, but most and foremost, I'm working for you guys, and nobody owes me anything. So if you can't do it or you don't want to do it, oh well, no big deal. It's not going to make me upset. But if you can, I also would really appreciate it. All right. I'm going to leave this running, and we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. I hope everybody's having a good night on a Wednesday. Hopefully you ain't got to work too hard tomorrow. We'll be back with another show for Thursday. Thursday's been pretty poppin', so I'm looking forward to the Thursday night show. And hopefully we can continue to have this momentum in crypto right now. And I hope it can carry us a couple of months and we can just forget all about this local bottom or this bottom in a bear market, whatever one it actually was. And hopefully we don't have to go to $40,000 or $30,000 for BTC. And with that, have a great night. Stay underground. Stay crypto. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you on the next stream. Underground Crypto out.